All right, love. So trust no one but God. Hear me out. I'm not saying don't trust people. I'm going somewhere with this one. Okay. Y'all I got some notes, so just bear with me. If you understand, you understand, y'all. Um, if you do not, just come back for another message and you may get that one. So we heal, we love, and we rise, y'all. Trust no one but God, okay? God is within you, as without, so within, right? Um, you can look at those things as like gut feelings, right? That's like God, your ancestors, your intuition, your higher self, right? So however you want to say it, whatever character you want to give it, right? So, for example, y'all, when you first meet people and you just get that gut feeling that something ain't right, or you just something don't sit right with your soul, yeah, trust that. Okay. If you are operating in your God body, you will know who is also God. Okay. Now let's disclaimer, right? There are different kinds of gods, right? But we're talking about the high of the highest, universal. Okay. We're talking about the high of the highest, universal. Okay. Um, Now you do have other energies and other entities that would like to refer themselves as God, and they could be lower level entities, and they have that status just simply because of others, right? Um, Other people worship them or praise them or however you look at it, right? We ain't gonna get too deep into that, but um, we're not gonna get too deep into that, but um if you are operating in your God body, you will know who is also God. So when you're interacting with people, this goes back to that gut feeling that I was talking about, y'all. I got something to tell y'all. Okay, so this is why we're getting here to the here. We gotta the lessons that um are being taught to us, right? So very important to just pay attention. Um, People you meet, right? So just breathe and flow. Listen to your inner know, okay? So breathe and flow and listen to your inner know, y'all. Okay? You are God, and God is you, as within, so without. So, for example, when you first meet somebody, and I know I just touched on this, but we're gonna go somewhere with it. So, when you first meet somebody and this person does not sit right with your soul. Now, there's polarities, of course, there are duality, right? So somebody, for example, if you are a light being, right, that vibrates high, you could irritate somebody's soul, right? Just because you are a light being. It doesn't mean that something is off with you, but it just simply means that you irritate their demons, right? But if you are walking or if you are walking into or in the body of universal, you will feel when someone's spirit is off, right? When something isn't right. So I say that to say this. Okay. So if y'all, what is it? Know thyself, master thyself video. Okay. Master thyself video. Go watch that one because that's going to touch with this one. Okay. Now, story time, guys. Story time. Be mindful, and I say, trust no one but God, right? If God leads you somewhere, and God may not reveal to you right then and there someone's true intentions or things like that, and that's the reason for that. It's just like a spiritualist. I don't like to put a title. I don't like to be boxed in, but those who works with Universal and things like that, you guys understand when we're doing our work that, God is not going to show us everything. Our angels, our ancestors, they're not going to show us everything. If they don't want us to know something right then and there, they're not going to tell us. And 9 times out of 10, it's because either they want us to learn something out of the situation, and or it's like this, right? So for those who walk the narrow path, right? And you know how when people be like, well, God's not going to let you know everything that you got to go through right then and there, because if they do, you probably wouldn't walk. You probably would be like, oh, heck, right? You'll probably deny that calling. You'll probably, you know what I'm saying? So this is why they say take things day by day, step by step, because there's something, a lot of the times there is something that you need to learn from a certain situation, and we all have a purpose. Okay, so whether your purpose is to expose somebody, expose certain energies, however it is, if you're walking on your spiritual path, there are things that you need to see, be aware of, and with expanding yourself, right, universally, right, expanding you. So y'all, this gonna be a story time in between time with a little bit of lessons learned, in between time with a little bit of, but I know for sure that I'm probably not the only one that, is either going through this or have been through this, or, and so I'm just here to, I really just want to give, clarity and understanding on what is, right? So, first of all, let's talk about when you first meet someone and you get that eerie feeling, or you just something is not right, right? Something isn't right. Trust it, right? Trust it. Trust your God voice. Trust your inner voice. Trust that gut feeling, okay? Trust it. Trust it, trust it, trust it. And it's okay if you make a mistake, right? Because a lot of the times when you are on this journey, a lot of the times when you're trying to figure things out, you're like, okay, it's probably like you heard it, but then when the truth finally gets revealed, you know that, right? And just know that you are protected, right? Know that you are protected through everything. But don't make it a habit of making the same mistake, right? And what I mean by that is, it's one thing for God to show you something for your highest good, right? For your growth, for your expansion. And then there's another thing where, because you're protected, that you just not listening, right? So that's another thing. So just be mindful of your intentions, okay? But yes, when you get that feeling, trust it, okay? For a lot of you guys, you went through tests, right? Or people would call trials and tribulations, so that you can trust yourself more, so that you can trust God more, right? So you can trust, and we talk about as without, so within, so that you can trust yourself more, so you can trust, God more and more. And it's like the Neo effect, right? You just know that you're able to just dodge things, remove certain things, energies, entities, just however, right? You're able to see things for what they are, not what you want them to see. So, and I also say trust no one but God. And it's not to say that you can't trust other people, but what I'm saying is God operates in other people. So if God can operate in you, God can operate in other people as well. So trust no one but God, right? And if you trust no one but God, and if you're God, as without, so within, you would know who to trust. You would know who to trust, right? You would know who to trust. You would know who God is operating in, right? Who's also operating in their God body. So understand, I know that probably went over some of y'all heads, but I definitely know that some of that probably went over some of y'all heads. But yes, okay. So look, I'm from the story time, right? So Y'all, and I got a lot of story times, when it comes to the workplace, when it comes to people, when it comes to, but everything is for our highest good, and we may not understand at the time why we're put in certain situations or positions and things like that. But we are put in positions to get positioned, if that makes sense. If you understand, right? Set up. Yeah, they tried to set you up, but didn't know that you were being set up for greatness, right? They tried to set you up, but didn't know that you were actually being set up for greatness. Okay. So this is what I want to say. I love y'all. I want to say that. But here we go, y'all. Story time. All right. Y'all, someone called themselves trying to help me, right? Now, I denied it, right? I denied it. But this person was just acting like they were just there for my greater good. And as a friend, however, whatever, right? Just wanted to be there. So God was like, go, right? God was like, all right, because it was a setup, right? Ill intent, right? So God was like, okay, they want to play, but I'm not knowing this, right? I'm just doing what God was telling me to do. So a particular individual put me in the hands of someone else, right? But claiming that they both was there for my highest good, right? Well, both was there. But don't get me wrong. These individuals are their own individual, right? So I feel as though they both had different intentions, right? And so anyway, let's keep going. Now y'all know me, those that operate in God and, have that heart and, you see the good in people, right? And is that an antenna? Anyway, y'all, we see the good in people. But sometimes that is not enough, right? It's not our job to, it's not our job to judge or to how can I say it? It's not our job to fix people, right? It's not our job to fix people. We can help them. Y'all hear what I'm saying? We can help them. But it is not our job to fix people. And so there was, claiming that, they were there for me, right? And I feel like one of these individuals did not know. This is why I said they are their own individual, right? One of these individuals, I don't believe they knew everything, right? See, I feel like, I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like how God blinded me at first. I feel like the individual that claimed that they had, my heart's best interest, wanted to be there for me as a friend. I feel like they were also blinded, right? But here's the kicker. So as these two individuals have their own, individuality, right? Their own reason as to why they wanted to be there for me, right? Excuse me, guys. So why they wanted to be there? So one individual, and we're not gonna talk about that person, right? But one individual had their own intent, We'll get into that in another story time. But the one that put me in someone else's hands, we'll talk about their intent another time. So this individual, where I was, and I wouldn't say I was put in their hands, but in so many words, I was put in their hands, right? And this individual claimed that they were there and this godly person and all this other stuff, and, you know, wanted to help and be there and just, you know. Now, I don't know what was exchanged or what words was exchanged between the other two parties, right? All I know is what was presented to me. Now, when I first met this individual, now this just came to me a couple of days ago, right? Because now, as it's, you know, these cycles are wrapping up, you know, spirit gotta, you know, spirit be, what did you learn? You know, what did you learn? Okay, we're gonna play some things back to you so you can see why you should trust yourself. You were right this whole time. You were right the whole time, but what did you learn? Okay. So it's like that final test. You go through these quizzes and quizzes and quizzes, and you go through that final test, and then you get that review, right? That summary, that review. And so that's that, right? And so long story short, this individual came off one way, but was a whole different person. You know, they say that they say devils and demons appear to they use God, basically. They use God as a smear, right? They use God, they hide behind God, basically. Y'all know I talked about this for church people, right? But they hide behind God as a mask, right? They use God as a mask. And, you know, God don't like that. So, and I feel like that was one of the reasons why, you know, Spirit put me in that position so that I could bring this story to y'all. I could help, you know, some of y'all that may be going through this or, you know, haven't, but maybe you questioned, right? And, you know, if we are God, as without, so within, you know, these people, what you reap is what you sow. It just takes the right individual, the right God body, the right God body. Y'all hear the train? That's confirmation. The right God body to come in and tear down Goliath, right? So, long story short, this person was hiding behind God, right? Was using the face of God, but behind that mask, and I'm not here to judge nobody. Y'all gotta understand, I'm not here to judge nobody. It is what it is. This is the truth, right? I'm not judging. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? This person was hiding behind God, you know, but behind closed doors, they were a totally different people. Y'all, people could own their mask only. The mask will fall. 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 Okay? I'm going to just say that the mask will fall, y'all. So, basically, I'm finna be 1,000. Yeah, I'm finna be 1,000. So, long story short, how I got in the hands of somebody else was, okay, I had my apartment, whatever, blah, 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 right? But these apartment people, they was a lot of gang stalking, y'all. I made a video about this, y'all. If you know, you know, explaining all of this, but I made a video. So this apartment complex was like gang stalking. They was doing a lot of messed up stuff to me, you know, and I was by myself. So, you know, I'm living by myself. So You know, they like to, you know, target certain individuals. And then if you know who I am, you know who I am. But, you know, just targeting, you know, certain individuals and stuff like that. And y'all, I had no cold water. I mean, no cold water. I had no hot water. You know what I'm saying? But I knew the hot water worked because when I first moved there, the hot water was working. So they started playing these games and stuff like, y'all, it was crazy. So I'm getting in cold showers, y'all. Cold, like freezing cold. Like the heat not working. All kind of stuff, y'all. I ain't even, they making noise. Like when I first moved, it was so quiet, and all of a sudden everybody, it's like the, what is it? It's called, like, it's like gang stalking, but it's like noise when people like, I forgot what it's called, but I got it all. I still got it all, man. I still got it all because I still got it all. And, so they was doing all this extra stuff, you know, trying to set me up on some weird stuff. Y'all, it was very weird. It was very, very weird. And that was my first time experiencing this, you know, but, you know, then they were doing like spell work and all this. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. And so I'm just in there, right? And they trying to stop my flow. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? And so I started picking up on things where they was trying to like harvest my energy and like doing little, y'all, if you know, you know, y'all. If you know, you know. If you've been up, I'm not gonna get into that. But anyway, this place was doing all of that. Right? And so, long story short, I'm like, I'm not going through this again. So I'm coming out like spell work and all kind of stuff. So now I'm like, I ain't gonna say like I'm messed up about it or affected by it, but it was just like, it was too much going on. It was just too much. And so long story short, they tried to sue me because at this point I'm not paying anything. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing that, right? I had got some advice and, you know, so they tried to make it seem like it was me. So I started like getting evidence and all this other stuff, blah, 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 woo. So at this point, I'm leaving, you know, I'm leaving. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And because if y'all know the apartment that I had before that, y'all, the apartment that I had before that was on the same kind of stuff. So that's how I ended up where I was at because I moved. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. Oh, no. No. You get what I'm saying? So that happened. And so I moved again, y'all. And then it was happening at this place, but even worse, like it was even weirder things that was happening. So, no, I'm not paranoid. And I know I'm not paranoid. No, I'm not smoking. No, I'm not drinking. No, I'm not doing none of that, right? So I said, okay, I need to figure out a place. So now where that's not going to do this to me, that I'm not going to, you know, have issues with the problem with everything working, right? But I couldn't at the time figure out what I truly wanted to do, right? Because I was also wanting safety, right? And so a person that claimed they were my friend or whatever like that, you know, wanted to be there for me or whatever. Now, I was about to go to a hotel, and long story short, the person's like, no, you don't have to go. Like, I got a spot for you. You know, you don't have to go there. I got a spot for you, blah, 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 woo, woo. So they're like, say your money, woo, wah, 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 right? So I'm like, okay, right? Trusting in this certain individual. And so I get to this spot, and this person is supposed to be holier than thou, you know, there for the church and all this other stuff, blah, 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 right? And I didn't know that this person was and I'm not outing nobody, but I gotta say what I say. I didn't know this person was a crackhead, okay? I didn't know. Not only was this person a crackhead, but this person was doing spell work. When I first got in the place, I spoke to the person about it. I said that the person, like, you know, because that had me there. I was like, this person into spell work, da-da-da-da, woo-woo. But this was something different. This was something that I've never seen before. Now, mind y'all, I don't dibble and dabble in certain things like that. So it's like, remember I told y'all how I even got awoken to it was, God had to reveal, or my ancestors revealed to me, this stuff, like, spell work and witchcraft and all that, hoodoo, Santeria and all that, that's real, right? Because, I was wondering why, because if y'all know, where I left from, spirit work was being done on me by my ex's sister and stuff like that. But also the people that I grew up with was also doing spirit work on me as well. But what's crazy is, like, I didn't know none of this. So when, I get away from all of these people, now I'm by myself. So I get away from all of these people, and God is like throwing everything on me, y'all. When I say throwing everything on me, like revealing to me everything that these people did to me, everything, like this was what's happening, because I picked up on it. Because I started, if you know, your ancestors will guide you to do certain things, right? And you never know why your spirit team is guiding you. So y'all, I started taking like spiritual baths, not knowing. I love baths. I freaking love baths. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why the people, at the apartment that I left from, now I couldn't get in my tub then, because the water was not coming out for the tub, but it'll come out for the shower. And so I would tell them this. Then it was no hot water. So I'm like, okay, so now like spirit is basically telling me like they purposely doing this. Like they purposely turning off your hot water. They purposely don't want you to get in your tub. They purposely, because y'all, when all of this stuff was happening to me, after I got away from the people that I grew up with, and then I, went somewhere else, and those people was doing the same thing, but in a different way or whatever, I picked that up. But y'all, I was taking like spiritual baths. So this stuff that they was doing was coming off of me. Like I wasn't blinded, right? I was like, they was trying to close me off, like close my third off, close my gifts off and stuff like that. And so I'm, my ancestors is guiding me, right? So if y'all being guided to do this, this is why I say this a lot. If y'all are being guided to do certain things, do that. Do that. If y'all are being guided to do certain things, your spirit team, your ancestors are guiding you to do certain things, do it, y'all. I promise you, do it. They're not going to steer you wrong, y'all. If you just get a sensation to just get up and go somewhere, or to get up and just, because I'm going to tell y'all, I love baths. I love baths, y'all. I freaking love baths. And if you know, right? I love getting in a tub, bubble baths and stuff like that. So one day, spirit was telling me what to put in my bath, y'all. Nobody taught me this. I'm just being guided to do this, y'all. I'm just being guided to do this. Now, at this time, I told you, I ain't know nothing about no witchcraft and all. I didn't know how people was doing it. I didn't know nothing about that, but I'm being guided to, you know what I'm saying, get in this tub. So y'all, I get in the tub, and it's like, things is breaking off of me. Like whatever was done to me, it was breaking off of me. It was breaking off of me. It was breaking off of me. And so now my eyes are opening up more and more. And there was some people around me, I guess, that noticed that I was coming out of this stuff. So it's like, they would try to put me back under. They would try to put me back under, close me back off and close me back off. And so that's why when I left from where I was at, y'all, when I say I was getting like, y'all, if you know, if you on your spiritual journey, and because when we talk about spiritual journey, it could mean many different things to many different people, right? You got religion and all that other. It could mean many different things. But this spirituality that I'm talking about, and I don't like to put things in boxes or nothing like that. So, but I'm outside, y'all. So if you hear me sniffling and wind blowing and planes and trains, that's because I'm outside. But y'all know I got to come with the trees. You know what I'm saying? With nature. I told y'all about the ascensions. Being out in nature would definitely help. So if y'all hearing people, that's people walking past and stuff like that. But so yeah. So as I'm getting in, the tub and all this other stuff, like things are breaking off of me. So I'm starting to see clearer and clearer and clearer. Like it's crazy. Like my energy coming back to me, y'all, all kind of stuff. And it's like God was showing me like who was harvesting my energy, because it's like God was showing me who was harvesting my energy, taking my energy, trying to mimic my life, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy but amazing. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say crazy, but it was like how it was all like revealed. But I say crazy because it's like where I came from, it's like you would never guess like people do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And these people hide behind God, and it's crazy because, like I said, the people that I grew up with, they hid behind God. They hid behind God, y'all. They hid, church folk. You know what I'm saying? Church folk. What? Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Yeah, and we be knowing the whole time that something ain't right. We be knowing, but it's like because of the spell work that was done, and because of like you feel people are family, and they care for you, and you just and y'all, I'm telling y'all, just sit back and observe. Just sit back and observe, and people will show who they truly are, y'all. And so back to what I was saying, so it was just breaking off of me, so now I'm seeing clearer. I'm seeing clearer and clearer. I'm tapping to my gifts, things like that, my spiritual gifts, not physical, but spiritual gifts. And they heighten. So, but there's some people that was around me that I guess started noticing and stuff like that. And some of them was trying to close me back off. And so when I finally got away, right, and I'm by myself, right, celibate, right. I don't do that sleeping around anyway, but no herbal, no drinking. It's just me, God, me and my ancestors, me and my spirit team, and just me and the universe. And so, y'all, when I say, and this was about a year plus some, but y'all, when I say that so much, y'all, was being revealed to me, when I say so much was being revealed to me, man, so I'm coming out the storm, y'all, headed in another storm, didn't even know I was headed in. But God was showing me how to protect myself, who's who, what's what, right? Because in order for us to ascend in a lot of ways and to become greater, and the veil has to be lifted. Your eyes have to be wide open. The veil has to be lifted. And but there are ways, where you can protect yourself from these things, and just all different kind of things as to why spirit does what spirit does, right? And why spirit does what spirit does. And why spirit does what spirit does. And so, and when I say like it was a setup for like, it's a setup, but God about to set you up for greatness. Because when I tell y'all, like, it was people like, gang stalking me, trying to pick me up on the side of the road, like, y'all, weird stuff, trying to kill me, poison me, like, y'all. And I know y'all, y'all probably like, girl, whatever. Hey, those who know. Those who know, right? But see, this is why, like, God doesn't reveal everything right away, you know? Because if you knew the tests and the trials, and because you're on a mission, right? You're on a mission, and this isn't for everybody. So takes what needs to be taken and then leave the rest. But you're on a mission. And so you may not know you're on a mission at the time, but you're on a mission. And so all of that was happening. And so now I'm at this person's place, right? Now, if you know, I'm very reservative. I stay to myself, right? So I was always in the room. I was always in my room. I was always in the room. But this person started doing things like I couldn't eat. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I couldn't eat. This person would have like, okay, for example, right? Okay, so thank you, Spirit, for bringing this back to my attention. Okay, so it was a time I had let my ex brother and his girl stay with us, right? And the girl went grocery shopping, but she knew I wasn't, we didn't eat meat, right? And so she went to the store though, and she went to go pack, and I was going shopping that day. And she went to the store, y'all, and she went to go pack the freezer with things we don't eat. Like literally, I can't even put nothing in there, right? So if I wanted to eat, I couldn't really go shopping type, right? So I said, okay. So I said it to say this. She was also a dark spirit, and things was happening in the house and stuff like that. And I was telling my ex, and I guess he didn't believe me or whatever like that, but I was telling my ex, and y'all, the ancestors was pushing this girl, they was doing things tried to get me kicked out of my house, y'all. And I don't know if it was, and it could have been his brother that was doing this to me too, and it could have been all three of them that was doing this to me, but they were trying to get me kicked out of my house and stuff like that. Y'all, I swear they're trying to get me kicked out, but I listened to God. That's why I say trust God, trust God, trust God, trust God. I listened to God, and I'm like, no, F that. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what I have to do to, y'all, when I say they was trying to set me up, get me kicked out of my place, this was purposely done to me. This was purposely done to me, y'all. Purposely done to me. Purposely done to me. They wanted me kicked out. And so, you know how I know too, before we get back to I couldn't eat, was this. Now, these stories gonna be all over the place. Was this. So I get to my next place, right? So I move out of that place. I get my next place. And one of my ex's brothers come to the house, and he told his brother that he came to my house calling me all kind of, bees and stuff like that, right? So he told his brother he outside of my house is late, being loud and obnoxious and just trying to start drama, drama. And he'd have no reason. He has no reason, y'all. When I say this man had no freaking reason, this man had no freaking reason. So, he telling his brother though, cause he telling his brother, I'm like, stop, stop with the noise. You tweaking, I got neighbors and stuff like that. And then, his brother telling him calm down and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. And dude basically said, this is what he said. He said, so I don't care. I want her to get kicked out. I want her to get kicked out. And he was telling his brother, you could come home. You could come home, come home, And he was just I want her to get kicked out. I want her. And that's why he was doing it. He was telling on his stuff. That's why I say, let these people, they tell. So he's legitimately trying to get me kicked out. But I don't know if this was all plotted, planned, if he was in on it, whatever, blah, 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 right? So that's that, right? So everywhere I go, these people trying to get me kicked out, right? So then these people be lying on my name and stuff, talking about I did this and did that, and I ain't did nothing, right? Just trying to paint a picture to everybody that I'm just this person, but the truth always get revealed. So, long story short, right? So the girl, she packed the freezer up intentionally on purpose. So I said that to say this. Okay, this is the second time coming, so I know this is not. I'm not tweaking. So now I can't eat. Now I don't eat what this man eat. I don't eat meat. I was not eating meat at the time, none of that. So I don't eat what this man eat, right? And so at first, I guess he tried to paint a picture to the person that he made the agreement with. I guess he tried to paint the picture to the person that he made the agreement with, that he was cool, like he can trust him and all that stuff, blah blah blah. So now the man started like packing his refrigerator up, his freezer up, and all this other stuff, blah blah blah. So I can't put my stuff in there. Right? But knowing that I don't eat what you eat, knowing that I'm here, knowing that and you could see that, okay, if she ever decided to, want to cook or something, she can, right? You know that, right? So I didn't say nothing because I'm peeping game, right? I'm peeping game. I didn't say nothing. And I stay to myself. So I started doing what I have to do, but it makes sense why my spirit team and God made me move the way that I did. It all makes sense. You may not understand it at the time, but then it all makes sense, right? Once you complete these cycles out and stuff like that, it all makes sense. So how long? We at 41? Well, y'all sit back. Take your shoes off, get comfortable. Okay? So so that's happening, right? So I'm peeping game. So I probably said something to the person like 1 or 2 times about it, but then I noticed this person was doing spell work. If you know, you know. Now, I'm not the type of person, and that's confirmation if you heard the horn. I'm not the type of person that likes to assume or to stick something on somebody if I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, it came across my mind. You feel me? It came across my mind. It came across my mind, of course, because that was my spirit team. My spiritual guys let me know what was up. So, long story short, one day I'm sleeping. Now, I've already told this person that, this person was doing spell work and all this other stuff, blah, 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 because they had I started noticing stuff, right? I just started noticing a lot that was really off. And you know how you get this feeling. And like, I was in this house, y'all, and this is why I said my gifts was so tapped in, bro. And spirit was telling me, like, because we kind of did like a shakedown, a little rundown, about all this stuff happening. And so basically, I'm just in this house reading everything, y'all. But at this time, I didn't know that's a gift. I didn't know nothing about that, right? I didn't know that you could feel a house, or you could step in a house and you could feel like things that have happened in the house, or, you could just feel things, right? And so that was happening, okay? And so that was happening. And so I'm basically like reading this whole house, but I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure. So one day, and it was just on me heavy. When something is on you heavy, 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 y'all, that's your spirit team talking to you. So one day I'm asleep. Now, my ancestor already told me this man was doing spell work on me. So I'm asleep, right? I'm asleep, and this person, now my stomach is doing like a 360. My stomach is doing like a 360, 580. Like it's going crazy. It's in the middle of the night. It's going crazy. Witching hour, as they would call it. So it's going crazy. I'm like, what's going on? Y'all, why I get up and I'm hearing this man stirring the pot. Like he has a cauldron. like a cauldron, like a real cauldron, right? So I'm just hearing like how my stomach is moving. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it move. So I wake up and I'm hearing the mixing. I'm hearing like the mixing of things. So I'm like okay, exactly how my stomach was turning. That's how he was stirring the pot. So I wake up, I'm like, oh heck, Now mind y'all, you gotta always remember that some things, God would let some things come through a little bit, but it's only for your awareness. It is only for your highest good. It's only for your awareness. It's only for your highest good. So it's only for your awareness. It's only for your highest good. So I said, oh, so we not tripping. Like, I'm not tripping. That man really doing that. So I'm like, I'm not tripping. I'm like, that man really doing that. That man really doing spell work on me. So mind you, I don't know this person. I don't talk to this person, none of that. Right? And I told the person that had an agreement with the other person. And he basically like brushed it off. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay, clearly I gotta face this on my own type. Who, like, basically I'm telling this person because I'm like, who house do you have me in? You know what I'm saying? Like who house do you have me? But then they was doing things like telling the community things that was not true about me, y'all. And what's crazy about this is, like, at first I didn't know this, right? This is why I say I had a sense. But this is why I say God will show you. God will close things off to you for a reason and then later on show you it, right? God will later on show you. And so God will later on show you someone's true intent. So little by little, these things is getting revealed. So now I'm like, yeah, what am I in? You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, it's like, okay, we dealt with this a little bit before. Oh no. So you could defeat this, right? But I got my spirit team with me. But long story short, my spirit team was just trying to let me know, like, this person is not who they say that they are. I noticed a lot. I heard a lot, like, and then towards the end, this person really started, like, their mask really fell off, like really, really, really fell off. This person was letting demons in their house, y'all. I swear, bro, I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying, bro. That man was letting demons in his house. Like, I guess he'll have his stuff or whatever, and then he'll be opening and closing his front and back door. And it'd be in the middle of the night, so I couldn't sleep. So not only can I not sleep, but I can't cook or eat how I want to, right? So I had to figure something out, right? Eat and do things I didn't want to, but I had to, right? Improvising or whatever. Because I don't eat meat. So that's happening. But everything happens for a reason. And so this person's mask really started like coming off, y'all. And I don't know if and then it's another thing, y'all. Pay attention to people's houses, right? Because y'all, if you know me, you know, like, I'm the person that don't like to sit in filth, and I'll probably get up and clean something up or da 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 da, right? So I started about to do that in his house, but my spirit team was like, no. Because when I first came, now I wasn't obligated to give this man anything, right? That wasn't, you feel me? The exchange was between the other two parties. But the kindness of my heart, I was doing it anyway. When I first was over there, I was doing it anyway. Anytime I went to the store, I made sure this person had something. So now God teaching me, when you know somebody is doing you wrong, don't do for them. Don't give to them. Withdraw your energy. Withdraw your hand. One day this man told me, y'all, that if I have anything, and this is probably another reason why, you see, it was a setup. But see, my spirit team, my angels and my ancestors always guide me. So one day, this man tells me, oh, if it's in the kitchen, I'm going to eat it. Like, basically tell me, like, he will eat my stuff. You know how certain people got their stuff. Now, mind you, I don't eat what he eats. So certain people got their stuff. And then, this other side got their stuff. And he basically told me if he wanted to eat it, and if it was mine, and I had it in his vicinity or his refrigerator or something, he was gonna eat it, y'all. I said, oh, really? Right? Heard, understood, right? But as I'm hearing it, God is hearing it. Okay. So keep that in mind. So that's happening. So I don't even communicate with this man really. You know what I'm saying? And anytime he would kind of like speak to me or whatever, it'll be very like dark energy. But to other people, this person was painting himself to be this light energy. Now, mind you, this person is telling the community things that was not true about me. And I just found this out recently. So I don't know who was spreading rumors, but there was rumors that was being said. There was rumors that was being said about me, right? There was rumors being said about me. And it got revealed to me recently. And it made sense as to why certain people was approaching me a certain way. Right? So it's like getting the whole community against this one person. And I know half them people was like, child, that shit is not adding up. Like, you saying one thing, but we don't see that. Right? So this person was probably going around telling their story to these people as if, like, flipping the script, like flipping personalities, like individuals, right? This person could have said, like for instance, right? This person could have said, oh, that person is a crackhead or a HOE or like girls, and whole time they the crackhead, they the HOE, they the ones that like the same sex. While this person is trying to paint themselves to be you, right? So remember I said in this light energy, da 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 da, woo woo, and they in this light energy and stuff, but whole time This person trying to harvest your energy, take on your energy, and then give, it's like identity swap, and then give you their life. It's like an identity swap, trying to identity swap. Right? So remember I said this was happening to me when I was a kid, to where people was trying to identity swap with me. Now, I don't know nothing about this. Right? I don't know. At that time, I didn't know nothing about it. So I'm like, okay. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. But I didn't know. So this happening again. And again, and again. And those who go through this, y'all understand my pain. Y'all understand, y'all, like, y'all know. You know, and I see why. I seen a post, for real, man, I seen a post that they was gonna start arresting people for doing witchcraft and stuff, y'all. And I'm not against that. I swear, man, half the stuff that I've been through, y'all, I don't wish that on nobody, yo. I don't wish that on nobody. Even though I was protected and safe and all this other stuff like that, but I don't wish that on nobody. Nobody. People be dying and people be wondering how and all this other stuff. I'm telling you, bro, like, I don't wish that on nobody, and I see why they want to start arresting people for doing it. Like, it's one thing to be of the light and doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, healing people and breaking things off of people, you know, doing it for the right reasons. But to be doing it in a dark reason, to get your way and to get what you want and to harm people, to use them for their service because you know, oh, this person is gonna give me money, so I'ma mess with their health, so they can't come out, or so they can't walk, and so they can't do this, and then they can call me. And what's crazy about it is, I was the individual that helped me, that was supposed to be my friend at the time. I was saving them because I told him I picked up an energy, and I was like, because he was having, you know, health complications and stuff like that, whatever. And I'm like, you know, even karma is real too. People keep their karma, but I asked this person, like, because I'm picking up on the energy, and energy is heavy, so I had to relay the message to this person, because spirit was like, you need to tell this person what we're telling you, what you're feeling, you need to tell this person. So I was telling this person, like, stop letting this man drive your car, all this other stuff, right? And I was telling him that this man was doing spell work on him. This man was doing spell work on him. Yep. Oh, I'm loud, huh? This man was doing spell work on him. So it just wouldn't leave me. Like, they like, you gotta tell him. I don't care if y'all ain't cool. I don't care. You have to tell him. This is what you have to tell him. And so as I'm talking to this individual about, you know, their health complications and how this happened, or when it happened, or when it started, and all this other stuff, blah, 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 you know, that's why I say you can't fix people. You can help them. You could attempt to help them, but you can't force them to see something. You can't force them to, you know, do none of that. But it is your job to speak to them about it. If God is telling you to tell a certain individual to tell a certain individual to do something and stuff, do it. Yep, do it. Yep. And so, y'all, trust, I'm telling you, I said all of this once I wanted to share my story, you know, because I feel like it's very important, very, 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 very important when it comes to certain times. And some people may be mad because of what I'm saying, but it is the truth. Yep. Some people could be upset at what I'm saying, but it's the truth and it's the God truth. It is the truth.